Everybody always wants the exciting TikTok shop hacks and secrets that will make them rich overnight. And yes, it is true. There are people like myself and some of my students who are making 20, 30, even 40K per month now minimum every single month like clockwork. So I'll add some screenshots here for my own accounts this year in case you for some reason don't believe me, which is fine. But again, according to the Small Business Administration, only 4% of side businesses ever generate $10,000 per month in revenue. And so numbers like this are definitely true when it comes to TikTok shop, right? The affiliates who are working without a plan in place are rarely making any significant sums of money, let alone doing it consistently month over month over month over month. So you know what separates the top 4% from everybody else? They master the boring fundamentals that most people ignore. So beginners, they treat every video and product like they're starting from zero, and it's the lottery, right? Instead of just finding what works and doing it over and over and over again. So I'll give you an example with a funny story that actually happened recently. So I was talking with one of my affiliates that I coach, and I said, hey guys, did you guys see the video of that woman who? And they were like, no, what video? And not even realizing that I was actually making a joke about the classic TikTok shop hook that everybody used. Did you see the video of that woman? It still works, by the way, as a side note, that hook. So there you go. But to me at this point, right, TikTok shop content is monotonous and almost gets kind of boring, right? So yes, of course, I understand 20K per month motivates me to get out of bed every day, and it's allowed me to quit my 9 to 5, and I do not take that for granted in the slightest. But the process in of itself becomes so repetitive that once you have the fundamentals down, it's not even funny. You just don't even think about doing it anymore. You just do it. It's just like a natural thing. So in this video, I'm going to break down the unsexy fundamentals that myself and also my students use to create predictable income while everybody else does what they feel like, and they do the hope and pray method and wondering why the results aren't consistent. If you are new here, my name is Kade Wiley, and I help part-time and also some full-time TikTok shop affiliates build consistent multi-5-figure plus monthly income. So if you are a subscriber, welcome back. So let's dive right into the video. So if I had to sum up the biggest mistake that beginner affiliates make, or even people who aren't making the amount of money that they want to make, is that it's the way that they treat it and the work that they put in all this effort or lack of effort. For example, you have somebody that's putting a low amount of effort, right? And so what do I define as low amount of effort? You're posting videos, and when I say low amount of effort, I'm not saying even the number of videos that you're posting. There are plenty of people who put in 2, 3 hours, 4 hours of work plus every single day on TikTok shop, and yet they're not pulling anything from that. And in fact, if you ask them, hey, what is your top performing video? What was your view to sale ratio? A lot of them are going to sit there and say, I really don't know. So I encourage you to ask yourself, what was your top video? And do you know how it was converting, or even what the product was, or when it started taking off? And to take that a step further, were you even looking at the stats to figure out, okay, why did this video work in the first place? Not, oh, it worked, that's great, let me never take any feedback into account from this video. The real experienced and advanced affiliates know that they should be pulling every single piece of data together. So for example, every new video that you make, you need to be using the previous knowledge of what you gathered from whether that's the product or whether that's the video itself. And so the problem with doing the hope and pray method, where you have no data or logic behind what you're doing, is there's no way to get consistent results and to do it over and over again. So going back to the example between the two affiliates, right? It's not the work, it's not the input. So yes, you do need to put the time in, but you need to pull together the data from what you are learning. So that's like going, let's just say you're in college or you're learning something, you're trying to study for your master's. That's like going into class and learning the material in there, and then you do no studying before that, and you just take the test and you hope that it does well. Could you do well? Yes. Are you guaranteed to do well? Probably not. So it's the same process with TikTok shop. You have to treat it like a business. Again, beginner affiliates also, anytime something bad happens, it's like the end of the world. It's, they're never going to recover. You get an account banned for no reason. You get logged out. You lose your commissions, or you have a product that goes out of stock and you're not making any money on it now, even though it was your top video, and you just feel defeated, like life's over and you're never going to make a single dollar again. The top affiliates ask themselves, okay, this happened, and how do I, one, prevent that from happening if you can, but also two, how do you use that to your advantage and take that further for your videos moving forward? And so not only that, the difference between the beginner affiliates and the advanced affiliates, it matters to a point how much work that you're putting in. But even if you are just, again, like we already talked about, if you're posting 20 plus videos a day and you're not getting anything out of it, how do you expect to grow and make more money? There is a maximum amount that you can do in a day. Now, some affiliates are posting 30, 40 videos. I think that's way too much. And if they just cut that in half and put more effort and thought behind what they are doing, they would make more money. There's only so much mental energy that you have in a day. So instead of just going go with no thought or reasoning behind what you were doing, try to look at the analytics, figure out why this product is selling. Why did people care about this? So for example, if you have 2 videos, one of them is selling, one of them is not. What's the difference? So whether that's the same product or not, why is this selling? Was there a tone? Was there an on-screen text? And you want to use this data to form all of your videos moving forward, no matter if you're switching products or not. And not only that, consistency really compounds. So the top affiliates know, while I shouldn't be just posting the most that I can in hopes that one of them goes viral with no logic behind why it's happening, the top affiliates also understand, again, this is a business. Things compound over time. This is the example that I use for a lot of people that I work with in my mentorship. Common question that I'll get is, oh, does it matter if I skip 2 days for posting? I say no, but let me give you one example. So let's say you post 3 videos per day. Those 2 days that you missed, while technically it might not have cost you any money, but you never know when that day is going to come, where that day specifically you might have thought of the video or the idea or the concept where you have this video go viral and you make $10,000 off of a video. I've had that happen plenty of times before. And then guess what? You repeat it. Guess what? You build off of that video that made you $10,000. Well, you not posting that day could have genuinely cost you $50,000, $100,000. So while it doesn't matter, again, the top affiliates versus the beginner affiliates think, oh, it really doesn't matter if I don't post today. Well, yes, it does on a long enough time frame. So again, if you're trying to get to 10K plus per month, 20K plus per month, 30K plus per month on an individual daily basis, it doesn't matter. But again, you can think of the graph. So if somebody gets 1% better every single day versus the person that doesn't get better every single day, on a year time frame, what is it? The person that got 1% better is like 30 times better, something like that along those lines, right? So it's the same concept with TikTok Shop with posting every single day. So again, treat it like a business and not a cute little side hobby, right? So again, if your goal is only to make $2,000 a month, cool, that's very awesome. You can do that. But again, if you're trying to make as much as you can make within reason, right? So even if you have a job or you don't have a job, it doesn't matter. But even if you do have a job, right? You're thinking, oh, I only have so much time in a day. So then you need to use that time as wisely as possible and not just post random stuff. You should still be spending a certain part of your day analyzing things, figuring out what the watch time is, what the percent that watch the full video, because that's the only way you hit these consistent numbers. If I had to tie the number one question that I asked myself this entire past year and even now is why? Why is this happening? Why are these views here? Why am I getting sales? Why am I not getting sales? So if all you're doing is just blindly posting, hoping something's going to work, how are you going to get any amount of repeatable results? Okay, real quick, before we continue on with how you can actually build these systems and just compound over time to make more and more, I just want to make it, really abundantly clear. I cover stuff just like this in extreme detail in my mentorship program, which is built for people who are serious and trying to make way more consistent income from TikTok than they're making right now, whether that's 5K, 10K, 15K, 20K, 30K. It's a done with you program that, we have, including one-on-one coaching calls, group coaching calls, right? So they're all recorded. I have a giant library. I condensed 12 months of information into literally 5-6 hours of content, as well as just extremely helpful on topics just like this, super in depth. This is just a small surface level of all this stuff. So obviously it's all intended to help you make far more than what you're making right now and more than you would invest to even get in there in the first place. So we have a group chat. The group chat is extremely active. We talk in there every single day, multiple times a day, post wins, and genuinely try to help each other. And it's something that I've been really focusing on, building a tight-knit community, not like these massive discords where you've got 8 million people and you've got 100 plus messages in the last hour alone, and you're thinking, how am I even going to read this, right? So we've gotten consistently great feedback from every single person that's joined, and everybody's very impressed at the level of support. It takes a lot of effort, and I make sure that everybody gets exactly what they want and even more. And so genuinely, because it takes a lot of my individual time, a lot of our individual time, so we cannot physically take on everybody who even wants to join in the first place. This is for people who, are committed to taking TikTok Shop seriously. You got to be able to post consistently. You got to be able to put in the work. If you're not willing to put in the work every single day, it's not going to be for you. Of course, welcome to watch all the YouTube videos. And of course, it's not free, but seriously, imagine how much more you can actually make if you're already getting value from my free content, which is quite frankly 15% of the service level stuff. So if you do want to talk with me directly and apply to work with us, no pressure involved, not going to hard close anybody. So you can apply to that at the link in the description of this video. If you want to apply for that, that is there. But anyways, back to the content. And not only that, again, a lot of beginners, something that I talk about heavily on this channel, and every single person that I work with, right, is following the same process of posting the product, a winning product, over and over again. So if you're posting random products, there's really no way to trend and get to the top, right? This is one of the most important concepts you need to understand is actually learning a product. So this goes back to the data again. So if you have something that's working, why would you leave it? Why would you go post or do something else that you don't know if it's going to work? So again, the beginners versus the advanced people people making a lot of the money have very strategic thoughts and moves that they make. So for example, you can get to 5K a month without too much strategy. You can just be decent at making videos. Can you get there? Yes. Is it going to be possible to do it consistently? Yes. Is it going to be as likely as having a strategy or thought process behind what you're doing? Yeah, I mean, yeah. Again, if you want to get to 10K plus per month, it's going to be getting better at those things. And then 20K and 30K, it's just 1% better across the board, doing it more and doing it better. Again, if you want to get to those upper echelons, you have to look at your data, have a reasoning and a thought process behind what you're doing. And this is the biggest difference, because over time, the small things really start to compound. So you might think that that video that you were going to post today, but you never did, could have made you $5,000, $10,000, $50,000, and put a reasoning behind that, right? So think of yourself, if you're trying to pay off your house, whatever that may be, there's a video that you are skipping today that could quite literally pay off your house. It's possible. It's been done before, right? So have that thought process in your head as you're trying to figure out how to get to these upper echelons and next levels on TikTok Shop. I know this was valuable, so make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're not already. And so go check out some of my other videos on a lot of the strategies that I post on how to actually do TikTok Shop the right way to set yourself up for consistent, potentially even life-changing money. So I'm sure you missed a few, but in all honesty, they're all designed to help you build real income, not just get lucky once and do the hope and pray method and not know how to replicate it, or just telling you to take retainer deals and make small amounts of money. You got to think a lot bigger. So check out the links in the description, plenty of ways that I can help you there, but you're already getting serious value of this free content. Again, imagine how much more consistent income I could help you with if you actually worked with me directly and get a lot of the insights. So go make some money, and I'll see you guys in the next one.